There are many folks that have autism or a child with autism, and Bright Light with Sevita Health helps folks to learn the best ways to navigate life for someone on the autistic spectrum. In this sponsored segment, Juliet Ewing joins us, and we are talking about scheduling and routines with folks with autism. So how should parents really be preparing for changes in routine and transitions for their child, especially as this is, with us going back to school, there's a lot of different changes in routine happening.
Thank you, Liza. This is a time of a lot of transitions for families of children with autism and with neurotypical children alike. And these tips are great for any child, really. As much work as you can do ahead of time with your child to understand what changes are coming, the better. So really, if it's a new school or a new classroom, make sure that you have a few visits first. Changes in routine should be as gradual as possible. So really running those kind of dry runs of things and exposing them to what things are going to look like and what the expectations are ahead of time is pivotal.
And like you said, I think it's really important to keep in mind that this is, good things to prepare for all children, not just neurotypical children. So why is it so difficult for our kids to really be able to make these little transitions, just for parents to be able to understand what it's like from their kids' mind?
Yeah, so if you think about it, especially if you're a child that's dealing with autism, it's a little bit more difficult to pick up on those subtleties and the cues from other people about what's expected of you and what's going to happen next. So we really need to be very specific and make more of a clear step-by-step, because it's very anxiety-inducing to not know what's going to happen and what's expected of you and not to be able to pick up on the cues that maybe other people around you are easily picking up. So by making that manageable and nice bite-sized chunks of change, we can really reduce the difficulty of those transitions.
Yeah, and the stress with it, because it is a really stressful time for a lot of kids and for parents as well. So what are some situations that can really present difficult transitions?
So difficult transitions can really be ranging from anything from going back to school after a long summer, kind of doing what you want with mom and dad and having a great time, and then all of a sudden there are a lot of rules and expectations in place and your whole little world is upended. That can be incredibly difficult. But a hard transition can also be just maybe a change in your route home. So say you drive the same route every day, and children with autism will really depend on that predictability to feel safe and know what's going to happen. So I've helped parents with their children who struggle when there's maybe a detour on the road or they have to run an errand on the way home, and the child becomes really, really unsettled because what they expected to happen didn't, and they don't necessarily understand why or how things are going to go after that. So really offering that explanation of what's happening, what's going to happen first, what's going to happen next, can help reduce a lot of those difficulties and transitions.
That's a really good tip for, parents who might be making those transitions. So what can parents do to really help their child cope with these transitions and changes like you just mentioned?
Yeah, so one great thing is to have a little visual schedule, and you can have pictures of different things that are going to happen and just put them in place ahead of time to show your child. And as things are done, they can move them. First we're going to do this, now it's done, this is next. And it makes everything a lot more visual. It doesn't rely on those verbal communications as much. And it really lets the child know what's completed, what's coming next, what's after that.
So where can people go if they want to find more information?
You can find us at brightlightbehavioral.com, or also on screen you'll see our contact information for a referral form to get more information on how to have your family and your child work with us.
Fantastic. Well, Juliet, thank you so much for this information today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And if you're interested in learning more about Sevita Health Bright Light Behavioral, just point your phone camera at this QR code on your screen.